everybody, we're going to be playing some blues today. We'll be learning how to play over chord changes in the context of a jazz blues. We'll be thinking in the mind of players like B.B. King and Robin Ford. I think I got a lot of fun stuff for today, so let's get into it. So let's start off by talking about the scales we're going to be using today. We'll start off with one that you probably already know, but it's very, very useful, and that's the A minor pentatonic. So it's going to start on the 5th fret, move up to the 8th, then go down to the A string, 5th fret, 7th fret, same on the D string, follow the same pattern on the G, and then the 5th fret B string, 8th fret, 5th fret E, and then end it on the 8th. Next we'll be looking at our A major scale, which is going to be really useful over the root A major chord in our blues progression. So that's going to start again on the 5th fret, move up to the 7th, then the 4th fret A string, 5th fret A string, 7th fret, then the 4th fret D string, 6th fret, 7th, same pattern on the G, 5th fret B string, then the 7th, 4th fret E, 5th fret. The simplest and most common scale in the Western music theory, but potentially the most useful. We'll also take a look at an A major pentatonic, which is going to start on the 5th fret of our E string, then move to the 2nd fret, A string, 4th fret, same 2 frets on the D, and then on the G, 2nd fret, B string, 5th fret, 2nd fret, E string, 5th fret. You'll notice it's the same shape as our A minor pentatonic, but we're not playing the F sharp. We're just starting on the 5th fret. So let's talk about the chords we'll be playing in this progression. We're going to start with the A dominant 7. Very common voicing, has that jazzy sound, has that bluesy sound. It's going to accomplish what we need here. It's starting on the 5th fret. I like to use my thumb of the E string. Then the 5th fret of the D string. I use my first finger. Ring finger, 6th fret G string. Middle on the 5th fret of our B. It's going to sound like this. Back it up to the 4 chord in our progression, which is a D dominant 7. I use my middle finger on the 5th fret A string, first finger on the 4th fret of the D, ring finger on the 5th fret G, pinky 5th fret E. That note's optional, but can give you a little bit more of a sparkly sound. The 3rd and final chord of our progression is an E dominant 7. It's going to be the same shape and fingering as our D, just moved up 2 frets. And feel free to spice up the progression by moving these chords chromatically, and that means by a half tone. That's a move you can throw in whenever you feel right. It's going to help make the progression sound more like a jazz blues and less like a traditional blues. So really quickly, I'd like to talk about the turnaround on this jazz blues we're playing, and I tabbed out 2 of them. Kind of a nice way to end it is on this half diminished chord, and it starts on the 5th fret A string, goes to the 6th fret D, 5th fret G, 6th B. You're gonna go, and then back it down a half step. And that's the end of our turnaround, and we have 2 ways to approach this. One, starting with a kind of higher melody note. That's a really nice big blues ending. You can see that in the tablature. And here's the other one. So let's talk about what we can play over the 1 chord note progression. That would be the A dominant 7 or A major. When we're on this key, we want to make the tonality sound major, kind of happy and bright. So a nice lick is kind of one from Hideaway that goes like this. 5th fret B string, 5th fret, hammering on to the 7th fret, and then the 5th fret A, and then move up the major scale, sliding from the 7th to the 9th. And then you can respond to it over the 4 chord with something minor. That's going to be 8th fret E, 5th fret E, 7th fret B, and then ending it on the 5th fret. Those two together sound like this. It's a really pretty sound. And then we're going to be back on the root. And this is a good opportunity to keep playing a kind of Dorian major sound. Hammering onto the 3rd of the chord right there sounds really nice. That's a hammer from the 5th fret G string to the 6th. When we get to the 5 chord, there's a few things you can do. You can do some double stop stuff. Don't be afraid to do the big bends here, you know, at the end of the turnaround. So a couple of tips to kind of close things off. I just want to talk about scale choice and like where we can really apply these. And like I said earlier, when we're on the root chord, the key is to kind of make it sound nice and major and snappy, you know. Do some nice bends, getting up to our major 3rd there to kind of highlight the quality of the chord. And when we get here, it's going to have that minor sound, big bends, something a little more dramatic. When we get back to the 1 chord, it's nice to kind of give it some space there. And when we get, again here, making it nice and minor and a little bit more busy. You know, that 5 chord, there's a few options we have, some double stop stuff. Stuff like that sounds really nice over the 5 chord. And just keep experimenting. You know, we've got 3 really nice scales to work with. The major scale, you can milk it a lot. You can make it sound really nice over the 1 chord and over the 5 chord. Not so much over the 4 chord. That's when we really want to make it sound minor. So thank you guys for watching. I think this was a really fun lesson to do today, and some players to keep in mind for influence would be B.B. King, Robin Ford, John Mayer, Tomo Fujita, Kirk Fletcher. These kind of guys are really great to listen to for this kind of playing, you know, playing around the changes. And I gathered together a couple videos I thought that were pretty influential for me on this lesson, and so I put them in the description below so that you can check them out and see if it helps you approaching these concepts. I hope I did a good job showing you how to play around these changes. I think it's a lot of fun. Well, thanks for watching, everybody.